Steamworld Quest seems to have its hands full convincing the public that, well, it's going to be a good game. At the moment, the cards are on the table, and we're all left wondering, can it actually do it? Is it going to be the ace up the sleeve that the card genre needs, or will I, the king with the big heart, be the only one enjoying this? One thing's for sure, Jack and Jill have an uphill battle. Hey everyone, how's it going? Eric here, and today what I want to do is I want to talk to you about Image & Form's latest game, Steamworld Quest. Now, you guys are probably thinking, Eric, you've done one of these before, and yeah, I have. But we got a whole bunch of new details, so I thought we could kind of just sidebar the rest of the indies for a second. I know, sorry indies, sorry guys. There's a whole bunch of new information, and I think that it's pretty important, and for people like myself that are really excited for Steamworld Quest, might want to know some of this information. Let's start off with a little bit of background here though, just in case you don't know. So Steamworld Quest is the latest in the Steamworld series, which is made by Image & Form. The creator's name's Brian. I don't know why that's important, but you know, now you know. The previous games in the series, or the ones that you've probably heard of, is Steamworld Dig 1, Steamworld Dig 2, and Steamworld Heist, which were all really good games, and that gives me a lot of hope for Steamworld Quest, which I think they're gonna need. Honestly, if anyone can revive the card RPG genre, I feel like it's Image & Form, and I feel like it's their Steamworld series. You see, I think that the card RPG genre is actually really good, and it's just got a really bad reputation to it because of some bad games, and even games that I wouldn't even consider a card RPG. Now, I do want to get a little bit deeper into that, but first, I want to go through some details here because I feel like a lot of you might be here just to know these latest details, like when's it coming out, what price is it going to be, is it going to be a physical? Let's jump through that stuff first and then we can get into a little bit of a conversation here. So the release date is April 25th, although I shouldn't speak out of turn there because we don't actually know that. We kind of do. So Nintendo's website lists it as April 25th. However, Image & Form haven't confirmed that. So I don't want anyone kind of taking this to the bank and slopping it away. Keep your money on yourself for a little bit and just say, okay, we'll just wait and see what Image & Form say. Now, I'll leave a link to their Twitter down below, so if you want to keep a constant update to see if that does get confirmed by them or whether that was some sort of slip up by the Nintendo, just do that. But for now, it's looking like it's around then. And if it's not, I really don't think it's that far away anyway. Now the price is 25 USD, 25 euro, 22.50 pounds. The rest I don't have, but there was some guy in the comments speculating that Australian would be $84 and depressing, but probably true. No, it's definitely not gonna be that much. Probably 35 or something like that Australian. Now there is a physical, yes, coming later in the year. So for those collectors like me who get overly excited about silly things that they can hold in their hands, I need to really be careful what I say on camera. Then you'll be happy to know that a physical edition is definitely, or should be coming at some point, but it's going to be later on in the year. And that could be because the game isn't just a Nintendo Switch exclusive, it's just coming to Switch first and then could be coming to other places later on. So maybe they want to do if they're doing other physical editions, do it more at once. It might make sense for them. Now there's lots of new stuff that we know about the combat and some of that might come up in conversation here, but I'm not going to list it all because we did that previous video. Some of the stuff was correct, most of it was incorrect. and really with the game possibly not being that far away, I don't think you need a deep dive through the combat when full impressions are going to be not that far away. Let's get into what I mentioned at the start, and that's about the card RPG genre. I really struggle with RPG. I think it's a G. RPG genre. So what I mentioned at the start was that the card RPG genre basically has a bad name because of those couple bad games. Games like Paper Mario Color Splash. And I do want to put a little kind of asterisk on this. Asterisk. Because I think that Paper Mario Color Splash is actually a good game. I just think the card combat part of that game is bad. Alright, so back on track, let's try and rein this back into Steamworld Quest because that's definitely where I want to keep this conversation around. There are a couple of things here that Steamworld Quest does with its combat that I think is going to make it rather interesting. And the first one is the steam power system. Sorry, steam pressure. So basically what the steam pressure is that you notice that cards, some of the cards on them have cogs, as well as up the top of your battle screen. So when you're actually in a battle, you have cogs up there. Now what this actually does is that your cards, your more powerful cards, will spend cogs. And you can build up those cogs by using your weaker cards. So this kind of makes this yin and yang of, do I build up or do I go all out, and when do I use these abilities? That in itself is interesting. But then what makes it extra interesting, I guess, is this heroic chain system that they have. So what this is characters have their own cards, and we've noticed this in the past by the colors on their cards. So blue, green, and red on the writing. Now, in a single turn, if you can link 3 of the same character cards, apparently you do something what's called a heroic chain, which is some sort of powerful ability. And the reason I mentioned this, apart from just being interesting, is that, as I said, it just kind of brings in another layer to this combat. And then when you put that in there with like making your own deck, buying cards, apparently there's some sort of crafting or something like that system in there. It seems like there's gonna be weapons as well that you can get. Those last 2, I can't confirm, so don't hold my word on them, but I remember hearing something about that. But by the time you put all these different things together, like the deck building is like, and now I am really interested to see the reception of this game and how it comes out the gate, because I think that, like I said, with the team behind it and the fact that we haven't had a good card RPG genre in a while, it kind of leads me to believe that this might actually be able to take people by surprise. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see what people think about this. And I really do hope people give it a chance. Anyway, that's kind of it for me blabbing on about this. I do want to mention too, the soundtrack, like that first song that we heard was amazing. We've heard another one since then, or I've heard another one since then, and it's amazing. So I have confidence in the soundtrack as well. It's going to be great. So I'm looking forward to that. Well, that is going to do it for today's chat. Now, don't forget, we have lots more indies chats coming up, so make sure you stay tuned. Don't forget, if you enjoyed today's video and you want to hear more of this, more of indies, more of everything that is Eric, make sure to hit that subscribe button, make sure to hit that like button, and from great Nintendo Entertainment, almost and more Nintendo Entertainment, well that too, you can count on me. Today's end screen goes as a quick shout out to Agent A, who, when I was at PAX last year, they gave me a deck of cards, so that's really handy. And then the other one goes to a Patreon who, this is only half of them. I'm actually going to do the other half in the next video because they asked a really good question, and you know what, I can cheat if I want to. So the first question they asked, or one of the questions they asked, okay, first of all, they are Jacob. Thank you very much, Jacob, for this suggestion. And Jacob asked, how do you like your coffee? Well, Jacob, I don't drink hot coffee much. I don't mind it, but I don't drink it much. I drink homemade iced coffee for some reason. That's my substitute when I need a coffee. And since doing this, I've needed coffees more than ever. So that's definitely something that I need to get me through power through the day or night or whatever's going on. So yeah, iced coffee is at home. It's got to be homemade. I can't drink just normal, like off the shelf iced coffee. I don't like that. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jacob. Goodbye.